Patriots at Eagles tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on NFL Network. It's game day, baby. Will Selva's on the West Coast with the news. Traeger giving me a wrestling lesson on Dwayne Johnson in the commercial break. It's great. It's all fun here.
Will, I know you.
I love it. And Big Cat Lad?
Big Cat Lad?
No, I mean, I could do
the
that.
Leg drop.
I can just do that.
Oh, that's
yeah, that's the only thing I can do is just yeah, that's the whole thing I can do. But it's weird seeing him on that Jungle Book movie because he's got a very like small hat, captain hat. It doesn't fit him, and it doesn't feel like he could be captain of a boat. A Jungle Cruise. That's right.
That's why people watch the show. Those kind of takes.
Yes, they do. That's exactly it. All right. Yeah, well, in the break, Shrigs, in the break. Now, I know all of you have been watching HBO's Hard Knocks. It's hard not to, right? It's always engaging to see these players. Well, one player who hasn't been able to really do anything is Dak Prescott. If you watch it and you see it, he's standing there. He is mad. He wants to actually be playing. He's itching to do it, but unfortunately, he probably won't be able to do it until the regular season opener. Prescott was definitely limited at practice on Wednesday as he continues to rehab on his injured shoulder. Head coach Mike McCarthy saying there is a, quote, good chance the QB won't play Saturday, and if he doesn't, he definitely won't play in their final preseason game. Meanwhile, in Chicago, Bears head coach Matt Nagy says Justin Fields was limited in practice as the rookie QB deals with a groin injury. Nagy adding they are being extremely conservative with Fields as a precaution and that the plan is still for him to play Saturday against the Bills. Staying in the NFC North as Kirk Cousins and the Vikings look to get back to the playoffs after going 7-9 last year. Minnesota has a track record of making the playoffs, followed by missing the playoffs for the last 6 years, something Cousins hopes to change both for the team and himself.
It's kind of a roller coaster. You have your good days where you realize you've taken some steps and you take a step back, but you just kind of keep pushing and keep trying to climb in this league. But it does take time, and I've watched, even guys who come out and have great early starts. You still have to kind of work at, okay, how do I sustain that? How do I keep that going week in, week out, and year after year?
And the Vikings have missed the playoffs in 2 of Cousins' 3 years in Minnesota. You've seen his share of highs and lows, but Kirk is certainly hoping he could take the team to the next level and maybe do his dead arm dance again in the end zone. If that, do the Shregs doing It's Your Birthday. He can do either one. I enjoyed Shregs' dance. Can we see it again there, Shregs?
Oh. Eat a Kit Kat. It's your birthday. Yep, I'm done.
Appreciate you, Will.
Yes. Thank you. It's all I needed.
Pretty good.
I'm done.
Let's take a look at who Kirk Cousins is throwing to this season. His wide receivers looking like they're having fun and proud. They're dancing. Shregs, this is like what you were just doing.
That's exactly right.
Totally. This is a gritty dance practice, I believe.
Thielen's got some buddies around him to make him look a little cooler than what we got going on out here. Let's just say that.
All right, well, the Packers and the Bears have been getting most of the attention in the NFC North this offseason. The Vikings seem to be flying a bit under the radar, unless, of course, you're paying close attention to what their coach, Mike Zimmer, has been saying. So many are still waiting to see if Kirk Cousins can take this team to the next level in the thick of an NFC North race. Well, Selva, somebody put his mic down. We can hear you on national TV. Tweet the show at GMFB. Let's talk some Vikings here. Could this be the year they get over the hump?
I'm trying to hear about Vikings talking to yourself going, all right, brother. Jeez, Will. Clean it up. I love you, Will. Listen, it better be the year.
It better be.
Because I don't know if you saw this. The preseason debut wasn't exactly sharp for Minnesota against Denver. However, you got to credit Zim. He did make sure to keep it optimistic and point out a lot of positives he did.
Really poor performance today. That's what happens when you give up an 80-yard pass, a long kickoff return. You had 3 defensive offsides on 3rd downs, interception for a touchdown, a safety for holding in the end zone, 3 very poor punts. Just really disappointing with the guys that played today.
I hear you, brother. Listen, Zim, we're going to have Irv Smith Jr. on the show later. We're going to ask him about that. But I have some good news. This is positive, all right? Do you know that the Vikings are an every other year team, like clockwork? I stumbled upon this. There was a time when the San Francisco Giants would win the World Series every other year, and it was always Madison Bumgarner. They would only win it was like on the even years.
Lincecum.
Yeah. And the years that the Vikings don't do well, they always have 7 or 8 wins. So backing up to 2014, they were 7-9. Then they get in the playoffs. Blair Walsh missed. Then they were 8-8. Then they get the NFC title game. Then they were 8-7-1. Then they beat the Saints in the playoffs. Last year they were 7 wins. This year they go to the playoffs. It's just math, guys. This is how it happens every year, and I don't know why. But every other year they make the playoffs, and the years they don't, they win 7 or 8 games. Last year, they won 7. What I'm telling you, the Vikings are definitely making the playoffs. That's happening. Sean, it's just physics.
If they do, it's got to be the defense stepping up. I used to do a show called Playbook right here on this network with Brian Billick, one of my favorite people in the business. He used to say, the things they hire you for are the things that they fire you for. And look, Mike Zimmer was hired for the defense, for his defensive mind, and yet it's something that they have really struggled with. When you look at what he did in his first couple of years when he got there, their defense was phenomenal. And last year, I mean, they gave up over 10 points more per game last year. So no doubt about it, he was frustrated, not just from last season, obviously that performance, but I feel a little bit like I'm dropping Big Ernie's leg drop right now.
Big cat, Ernie Ladd.
Yeah, the guillotine.
Yeah, the game is going, and everyone wants to learn more. The coaches are getting younger. They're getting younger and younger, and the man in charge of the offense, I mean, Zimmer's in his 60s. That's cool. He's coaching the team. Clint Kubiak, Gary Kubiak's son, is now running the offense. He's 34 years old. He's 34 years old. And everyone say, well, he's Gary's son. He's going to just run exactly what Gary ran. No, his big coach that he learned under was Kevin Stefanski. So that's one of those deals where Stefanski was the quarterback's coach and the OC in Minnesota, and he was grooming Clint Kubiak under him. Well, Gary was coaching in other places. So Clint Kubiak comes and he brings the Gary Kubiak run scheme and all that stuff. Great for Dalvin Cook, but also the Stefanski offense, which integrates a bunch of different things. So I'm interested in who's calling the shots on the offense and what they can get, because they have a ton of talent, and I don't think they want to spill any water on this one.
No way, baby.
You just really spilled it all over.
Wow. Some water.
Can't put that fire out.
It's heading your way. You need to stand up.
I'm now
Drenched, Schrags, we'll figure that out. We'll find out where Justin...
Excited about